attendance. You have the link online. I also sent you the link on chat. So have you been able to install LibreOffice?
Yes.
Yes. Anyone having any difficulties? Normally, you should install Java first, and then you install LibreOffice. So those who have been able to install it, I'm just sharing one window. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. Okay, so I'm just sharing my LibreOffice interface. It should be visible on your side. So you will see on your left-hand side, let me close this window. So on your left-hand side, you have base database. Okay, for those who have successfully installed LibreOffice. Alternatively, as I told you, you can use Microsoft Access, but this one is easier. So if you're having any difficulties with installation of LibreOffice, so which you should not be having because this is a straightforward installation, but sometimes it depends on your computer settings. So those who have installed it, did you get this interface with a base database on your left-hand side here?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, for everyone. Okay, so anyone getting difficulties, don't hesitate to ask question. Okay, so if you have successfully installed the application, I will ask you to go through the guidelines now. You have the tutorial, the link for LibreOffice. What is expected for today is, so again, I understand that some of you have joined a bit late. So we are still at our first lab session. So for today, we are creating a database. So you will be working with the actual creation of the database, and the package is LibreOffice. So normally LibreOffice is similar to Microsoft Office package, where you have Word editor, Excel sheet, PowerPoint presentation. So alternatively, if you would like to use an open source software, which is lighter and which does not take too much memory, so you can use it, but we will be using it mostly for the first 2 or 3 weeks, just to get you used to the interface of a database system. So I would say database management system because later on we will be working with a more powerful database management system called SQL Server. So SQL Server is a more powerful database system where you will be writing your actual query with more complex queries. So LibreOffice or Microsoft Access, this will give you an overview of the graphical user interface. How do you view the tables? How do you view the relationship between the tables? How do you view the connection between the tables, the primary keys, the foreign keys, as I had explained to you yesterday during the lecture. Okay, so if you refer to this interface, normally when you click on base database, it will ask you to create a new database. So you can perform these steps. Okay, so for the practicals, so you will be your responsibility to work it out. So you have the guidelines here. What is expected is that you are able to create and save a database. You are able to create and save database tables. And inside database tables, you have fields, data types, format, primary keys. And then you should be able to insert data into the database table for today. Okay, so again, you have two sets of resources, one for Microsoft Access and one for LibreOffice. So the online link is given here. So please go through the exercise. Okay, so you go through the exercise, and again, don't forget to sign your attendance. This is important. I will always remind you because we need to keep track. Sometimes for those having scholarships and so on, so we need to give a feedback about the attendance. So if you forget, so it will be too late because the attendance is disabled after the session. And those who do not have their email account yet, so you won't be able to sign the attendance. You can send me an email after the session. I will record your attendance. Okay, so I will let you work now. So I assume everyone have been able to install. If you have any difficulties, please inform me. Okay, so now please start creating your database. Start creating your database tables. You can investigate the data types fields. So if you have any question, just send me a note on chat. Then we'll see your question. Okay. So I will just share very rapidly in a few minutes how you go about working with ZipOffice. So try it on your side, first of all. Okay, so your attention, please. I am sharing the LibreOffice interface right now. Are you able to see it on your side?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I assume that you should have been able to do these steps. I'm just showing it to you. So I gave you an overview yesterday during the lecture, but you had not done the practicals yet. So you click on base database. You need to create a new database. If you would like to open an existing database that you saved previously, you just click on open and you choose it, or you can have from a list that you have created. So, and then you create the database. So the database will be created in this way. So normally here, these are, I just remove these two. So when you create it, you will end up with a blank list of tables. So you create table in design view. Okay, so in design view here, let us say I am creating a table student. So the ID will be number. So I have last name. So no spaces, middle name, first name. I can have email. I can have address, age, and so on. So remember, we talk about primary key. I right click and set this one as primary key. So this is how I am creating my first table. And then remember, you had yesterday vouchers. One of you was asking the question. So you can set the limit here. That is a maximum number of characters that last name can contain. So by default, it is 100. And then you have some additional formatting requirements that you can set below. So these are additional constraints. I save this information. I need to give a name, student. Okay, so it is saved. When I close it, it will be here. If I right click, I edit again, I will come to design view. So the steps are more or less similar as in Microsoft Access, except that the interface is slightly different. So this one is easier to use, so that's why it is recommended. So now if you would like to enter data, you just double click. Here you get the data sheet view. Let's say student one, I just put some random information here. So let's not put one. I just put some random information here. Email, address, age. And then I have student two, the information here, age two. Okay, I can save it. So now the purpose of the primary key, it is said that you need a unique identifier. Let us put two. And then this one. So when you save it, it will give you an error message because you have a constraint on student ID we did yesterday, why you cannot put two similar students with the same ID, because this is unique. On the contrary, you can put the same information for, let us assume that two students have the same name. Email will be different, right? Let's say address also is the same. Let us say age also is the same. So you will see that this is possible as long as a unique identifier is different. Okay, so this is the main purpose of today's lecture. You should be able to create a table, insert data, save the table. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you. Okay, is it fine for everyone so far?
Yes, sir.
So you have been able to create a database, you have been able to create database tables. So now don't just stick to the examples that I give you. There is an exercise one on Google platform. So you have some data there, two tables. So now if you would like to create a table of your own, put your personal information. So feel free to do so. Okay, so if there are any queries, just let me know. I let you continue your work. Again, don't forget to sign the attendance. Share the window. So you just need to go to uh, design view. So let me share it again. This is not the correct window. So just give me 1 minute. I will share it again to answer this question. Okay, so I'm sharing it. So you just right click on the key and select primary key. So a simple step. Right click, select primary key. Then you will have here, I have put it again, you will have a small key appearing next to the field. Table relationship. So you can follow it, and I will explain the idea of foreign keys next week. So the properties, I'm not expecting that you add all of them. So some of them are more advanced. So you can add the simple ones. So please try to create the tables, data types, insert data. We'll work with primary keys, foreign keys, and then we can look at the properties. So it is there for your information in the lab sheet. Okay, so to come back to the properties, if you check the online tutorial, uh, you will see that you can put properties such as auto value, auto increment, length, decimal places, description. Okay, so I will ask you to do the simple properties first of all. So in design view, you will see down below, you have properties. It is there. You need to go to design view. So for today's session, you should have been able to create a database, create database tables, investigate data types, and then there was a question on properties. So I have shared my screen. Just below, you can change the basic properties. Here you have some basic properties that is available in LibreOffice. So in LibreOffice, you don't have a lot of properties that you can change. So again, I told you, you have some requirements in the question, but for the time being, you can work with simple properties. Like you have these properties, you can change the alignment, you can change the format, you can change the decimal numbers, you can change the decimal value. Okay, so each one of them, you will see you have properties, and entry required. You will recall yesterday we did not null when we created the table. So this is the equivalent, one of the property, not null. Okay, if it is required, you put it yes, then this means not null. Okay, you can use a length and so. Okay, so the next things that we will do next time, save your database table. As I told you, we will be working with LibreOffice for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then we will switch on to SQL Server, which is again, I will give you the installation. I will post it on Google Form, on the Google platform, so you can install it later on. Okay, so that will be for today's session. What you are expected to complete for today. Any questions before we end today's session? Anything which is not clear? Yes, all good on your side. Okay, so again, before we end the session, I will request everyone to sign the attendance. Don't forget, those who have not yet done so. So all of you, you have your email account. If you don't have it with you right now, so just send me a mail after the session. You have my email address. I have been sending you emails. So for those who do not have, I am putting it on chat because I understand some of you have recently joined. Okay. Okay, so if everything is okay, so that will be all for today. And I will see you next week. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Goodbye, sir.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
okay, over.